Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the 90th Minute. We are your hosts, Greg, Lucas, and I am Waz. And we're also missing our ginger friend, Liam, the Celtic supporter. He's away today due to work. You know, he works late nights, so I guess he couldn't make it. So sometimes Greg can't make it, sometimes I can't make it, but we still try to deliver a weekly episode. And also, shout out to all our brand new subscribers and followers. You know, followers on TikTok, subscribers on YouTube.
And also on the podcast apps as well. Our listeners have been increasing on there as well.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate all the support.
Yeah, we're on the brink of hitting 350 YouTube subscribers. I know just a month and a half ago, maybe, we were at 50 subscribers, and now we're almost at 400, so that's crazy. So thank you for all the support. Yeah. Anyways, let's get into the footy, the football. Guys, what happened?
I mean, Waz, you get your fun this week for once.
I know. Come on, United.
I think Liam just didn't show up because of what happened.
Oh, honestly. No, he didn't. I mean, come on. He wanted to be here because Celtic won the Old Firm. Come on.
Well, they won a trophy.
Yeah, 10th trophy in a row or consecutive trophy for Celtic, so that's pretty nuts.
We'll give his thoughts later, though. Yeah.
Domestic trophy. They're not too good on the continental stage, but we'll get to Celtic at some point. Anyways, we're going to start with the Premier League, which, you know, it's been pretty hectic season so far. Yeah. There were some crazy games. Manchester Derby, and over the week we also had some midweek games which we'll try to touch up upon, but we'll mostly focus on the weekend games. I mean, Liverpool smashed Everton. No surprise, to be honest. The Merseyside Derby is basically Liverpool's free 3 points.
It's not usually like that, but
recently.
You guys are the best team in Europe, so come on.
I mean, yeah. But yeah, I was very happy with that. But let's start with Manchester United versus Manchester City because that's obviously the marquee matchup this weekend.
Exactly.
The big boys going
on. We hand them a nice L at the empty had. Most deserved. I mean, it was a good win. It was fun.
Now, Oz, before this week started, last week I remember you were saying you saw the schedule and you were scared. Yeah. You knew it was Spurs with a new manager. Mm-hmm. Your former manager, and then Manchester City, who obviously have a big number on you guys. Yeah. But you guys got 6 points from those two fixtures. Yeah. So what happened? What changed?
Well, what happened? I don't know. I just guess we play better against top 6 sides.
In all honesty, it kind of seems like it. United, they drew Liverpool, and now they beat Manchester City and beat Spurs. So.
I think things are starting to kind of click with Ole. As you can see, I mean, our counters look beautiful. I mean, Martial, Rashford, James, every time we hit some team on the counter, it looks dangerous. Yeah. I just think things are starting to click for us.
Even Lingard looked really good against Manchester City.
Yeah, he's been performing well. I think his decision-making has been a little bit better than usual. His touch is better. So it's good to see Lingard performing. I mean, he's not a young lad anymore, let's be honest. No. Even though everybody thinks he's like 22, he's actually like 26. But
getting up there.
Yeah, anyways.
In his prime, so he's got to start performing now.
He's in his prime, my God.
Well, and what I got to say about Manchester United, though, is how good defensively they were. Like
for the most part,
Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, and
Wan-Bissaka.
The Rock that is Wan-Bissaka.
So good.
Yeah, he had Sterling in his pocket the whole game. It was beautiful.
Yeah, Wan-Bissaka was incredible this match. Same with Lindelof.
Yeah, I mean, Lindelof's always been good. Good. He's a good ball-playing center back. Much better than Maguire, that's for sure.
I thought Maguire's a good ball-playing center back.
The last couple games he's been okay, but
at least that's the reputation he had before he joined Man United.
Well, I mean, I think it was a couple games ago against Sheffield or Aston Villa, and every time I watched him try to play the ball, it wasn't good. He did not make good forward passes, you know. But
Wan-Bissaka, I've always said, not great offensively. I think you can accept that.
Yeah, but he is a rock. Like
in the defense.
Yeah, he is an anchor. Like. Second best right back in the Premier League, arguably. So it's second because Trent's obviously first.
Ricardo Pereira at Leicester, I'm a big fan.
I mean, Pereira has made a good case, yes,
but focusing on United, so McTominay and Fred as a midfield against Manchester City, who has the likes of Rodrigo, De Bruyne, Silva, and they lost it.
No, they were fantastic.
I mean, to be honest, every time City had the ball, I was kind of scared, especially Raheem Sterling. Every time he had the ball, I'm like, oh my God, this guy can do anything.
Let's be honest, though. They had the ball a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot more than
Man City have the type of players that they can do anything. They can turn up when they want. Clearly didn't turn up against United, but...
they haven't been turning up against teams that they should be beating.
They've been kind of in poor form in City's case.
Well, no, definitely. I mean, to be fair, City were good against Burnley midweek. But then, yeah, they showed up in this derby, and Manchester United wanted it more.
Can I be honest? Anyone can be good at against Burnley at this point.
Burnley has a reputation of being hard to break down.
Recently?
Yeah.
Didn't they get smashed over the weekend? They've been kind of leaking goals, Lucas. So
I mean, you're kind of right now. They've lost their last 3 matches now.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good.
And their last match they won was against Watford, and that's easy for most teams.
Watford's currently
they're looking had a rough season.
Yeah, the door's open for the championship right now for them. But back to United City. Fred and McTominay. Here's the thing: a lot of people have given a lot of stick to Fred, and honestly, Fred has been performing pretty well for United over the last couple of weeks. Sure, you're gonna look at results like Sheffield last year. He couldn't perform well. He's been gradually improving as the season has been going.
I see it is he kind of just got thrown in with Pogba not playing right now.
Yeah,
he didn't hardly play last season.
I think we're starting to see the Fred that was at Shakhtar, and the reason why maybe he was worth 50 million. So I think he's slowly improving. I think he's going to turn into a good midfielder for United.
Is he playing like a 50 million midfielder right now, or
no? He's probably playing like a 25 million. I mean, depending on how you value players nowadays, right?
Yeah. Well, you guys just beat Manchester City. I mean, you got to rate every player.
I just think the compete level was much higher against Spurs and City. I think United players love playing these big matches. They know what's on the line, and I think against City they did it for the fans. You can see the way they play. It was a hard-working game. They never stopped. Yeah. I mean, the second half was kind of slow, but I think it was important for us to protect the lead in the second half. I mean, City
definitely.
And you were still counterattacking. You had several chances that you guys did waste. I remember there's one where Daniel James just ran down the whole half of the field, then dribbled across, and then instead of trying to take on a man and shoot or something, he passed it to
Fred.
No, not Fred. Other Brazilian, Andreas
Pereira.
Yeah, and then he just messed it up.
Yeah, Pereira is something. He's good off the bench, but I don't like him as a starter.
But let's look at Manchester City's perspective before we get more into Manchester United, because Manchester City, they're now another loss. They're now 6 points behind second place now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
An incredible 14 points behind Liverpool. And they're only 3 points ahead of fourth place. It's not looking pretty for them.
I think it's fair to say that their hopes for the title are done this season.
I mean,
it's done just with how Liverpool are playing.
You just find it hard for a club to come back 14 points.
There's no doubt.
Liverpool has to lose 4 games in a row basically just for them to.
Right now it's
more than 4.
The title challenge is between Liverpool and Leicester, and that's crazy to think we're actually talking about that.
We'll speak about Leicester a little later,
but let's just be honest. City's injuries kind of hurt their chances.
Even with their injuries, and
they still have
the
depth.
That is an amazing team.
But the space between the defense and the midfield, there was so much of it. They pretty much. You expect United to counterattack in this match, and Pep just laid there, let it happen.
Yeah, you can't be doing that.
Maybe I think
not with the pace that United has.
I think I'm starting to learn that Pep has trouble playing against counterattacking teams.
Yeah, unless if it's Liverpool, because Liverpool aren't going to counterattack anymore against Pep because he knows that.
Yeah, I'm just saying in general. I think he needs to I think his possession style of the game is starting to kind of slowly dwindle.
If you don't have
the right players.
Yeah. Well, they still have the right players.
They had Kevin De Bruyne. They still had Mahrez, Bernardo Silva. They had Jesus. They still have their key offensive players.
De Bruyne didn't have good of a game.
Sterling, he's one of the best players in the Premier League, and Wan-Bissaka had him in his pocket the whole time.
I remember before the match, he was talking about his scoring record against Manchester United and how bad it is that he wanted to break that dog.
Yep.
Do you think that kind of stuff gets in a player's head?
Maybe. I don't know why he's so concerned about just scoring against United. Just focus on the match. I thought that was kind of just a weird statistic for him to think about.
So, do you also? I know I was hearing a lot of people say this. Do you think Fernandinho being in defense instead of midfield is a problem for City right now?
I think it is because he's not used to playing that back.
Well, he's been playing decent at center.
He has been, but I mean,
I think he's just a miss in the midfield. He's such a great player that
you kind of want more.
Rodri came in and he's good, but I still rate Fernandinho.
You want more of a player who's more naturally suited to center back.
Yeah, I mean, it's true.
Honestly, we can kind of who's a better center back, David Luiz or Fernandinho?
Probably. Oh no, I'm not gonna say. I'm not saying anything.
I'm gonna leave that to the viewers. What do you guys think?
That's an interesting one. Yeah,
their defense has been very strange, especially with Laporte out. I mean, Otamendi is okay. He scored a set piece, but I mean, they got Angelino, who seemed he wasn't ready for that game.
No,
he. I don't know. They buy so many players, but then so many have gotten injured. Like, it's hard to have sympathy with a club that spent that much, though.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, they've spent just a little bit more than Manchester United, but they're actually winning titles.
Yeah.
And, they could have, I think Roy Keane said something like, not many clubs are able to win 3 titles in a row.
Yeah.
There's only one club that can really do that.
And I don't think we... All right. I don't think we mentioned it, but the game did finish 2-1 for United. And
brilliant penalty from Rashford.
Well, that's what I was going to bring.
Yeah.
Penalty from you guys? Penalty?
Easily,
yeah.
No, there's no doubt about it. I just feel like so many players nowadays are crying for handball. It's like every game somebody's like handball.
It's becoming like an instinct for them.
Yeah, that's. I'm starting to find out. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. Just
no, when he has his hand.
And there were some instances where, like, when Fred was on the ground and the ball kind of hit his hand, but there was no intent.
Where was he supposed to put his arm? Cut off his arm.
Like I brought that option a couple podcasts ago. Should players cut off their arms now?
It's painful.
I don't know, but.
You need your arms for throws. You know what I'm.
Yeah,
you need your arms for throws.
You need your arms to run.
It's true.
It's true. But yeah.
Do you think Manchester City missed Aguero in this match and his movement off
Probably.
the ball?
You got a fair point on that because Aguero's always been pretty crucial when it comes to Manchester derbies. He usually does score, but
it's true. I mean, Gabriel Jesus had a good midweek game, with I think 2 goals.
Yeah, he had a fantastic goal.
Yeah,
that curler on the left side of the box.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Fantastic.
So I think City fans and Pep was confident Jesus could do it, but
I think what this game kind of proved is, once again, I mean, the last 2 games, United can do well without key players like Pogba, which is awesome to see them doing well without the biggest star player in the whole team. Yeah. And I also showed that our counterattack is extremely dangerous.
The problem is you're not going to be playing against clubs that the counterattack is going to work.
Well, and that's where I was gonna bring up, because like you said, you think United does better against the bigger teams who have the more possession and more attacking.
We need to start doing better against lower oppositions like the Aston Villas, like the Burnleys.
Well, yeah, because you guys, how you said it, are good at counterattacking, which you don't really counterattack too often against the lower teams, because a team like United should have the ball more. So is that an issue for United?
I think so, yeah. I mean, we need to learn how to... we just need to be able to, just get a goal or 2 against these lower sides. We shouldn't be drawing Sheffield or Aston Villa, for example, right? It's just... I don't know. I think things are starting to look up for United, but, I mean, we play good against tougher oppositions. I mean, we beat Leicester 1-0. I mean, fluky because we got a penalty. We drew Liverpool. We beat Arsenal. I mean, that's not hard right now. Chelsea, we beat...
Did you say you drew Arsenal or beat Arsenal?
I think we beat Arsenal.
No, you drew 1-1.
I think you drew Arsenal.
Okay. Well, still, once again, I guess, top team, but... and we beat Spurs, so, I mean, I can't complain, and I think we can push for top 4. It's not unrealistic.
Well, yeah, no, the Premier League table...
But the whole Premier League is in shambles. In a good way, in my opinion.
I like that it's tight like this.
A lot of people are saying this is one of the worst, seasons in Premier League. They're saying, the quality is poor. No, I think the quality has been top notch. I think
it's the fact that the top teams aren't doing as good. Other than,
and a lot of people are saying, just the Premier League's having an off year. I'm like, no, why don't you give credit to some the teams that have been promoted, like Sheffield, who are doing well, Leicester. It's not a surprise that they're doing well. They have good players. They have the money to do well. Yeah. So give them credit. This is proving how competitive the Premier League is, not proving how poor it is. I mean, Arsenal, sure, they're not great, but they're still a top side at some point.
Yeah, it's like saying the Bundesliga isn't a quality league because Bayern isn't doing well.
I mean,
it's the same thing,
I mean, that's just a total insult to Liverpool if they end up winning the league, which they will, because you're gonna win the league, and people are gonna say, it was just a poor season.
Yeah, City had a poor season, so Liverpool won.
I don't know.
Or those idiots that say, it's because of VAR.
I mean, yeah, you're getting lucky, but you kind of have to be lucky to win a title sometimes.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, and like I don't know, I just think people need to give more credit to some of these teams in the Premier League, like Wolves, Sheffield, for example. Again, like they're playing well.
I thought Wolves was gonna like backtrack a little this season.
Crystal Palace is playing well.
I mean, they tied Watford.
Yeah, I mean, but it's competitive. That's why the league is so up and down. I mean, the Spurs are playing well again under Mourinho. So I mean,
speaking about those other teams, are we moving on?
Oh yeah, I know. You in our group chat earlier? You were talking a lot of stuff about Rashford. Do you want to say something right now?
I think Rashford is he's world class. Let's be honest here.
So,
I disagree.
See, he's very good. I'll give him that. But I think me and Lucas are going to say the same thing. You're talking about how he's like one of the top goal scorers in the Premier League. I think more than half of them are penalties.
No, 4 of them are, which is 40%. But I don't know,
a lot,
man. Though. Like he's like a type of player that goes through good form, but then he has some patches where it's just not. I guess that's most players, honestly. They go through good form, bad form.
It's true.
But
I don't see him as just a natural striker though. Like
I think he's sometimes a little bit better on the wing.
Yeah, I like him on the wing better.
I mean, I don't mind him as playing as a striker if he has to, as long as there's other players around him that can also contribute with the goals.
I think it was silly for our friend Liam to call him an average striker.
I mean, even last
that's the thing.
Even last podcast, you were saying you were considering other striking options like Haaland and Shane Long.
Yeah, well, I just want more depth. More depth.
Well, Haaland wouldn't be a depth striker; he would be the one starting.
I know. It's good to have options though.
Yeah.
Even if you can start, Haaland. I mean, Martial can play wing, but I don't know. I want more options up front because right now our option is Mason Greenwood, who's like 18.
Yeah, you see City's depth, and it's hard to get that, but you want some for sure. One more thing I wanted to actually mention that I forgot about. I really hated what was happening to Fred.
Oh, that was disgusting.
That was so bad.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
No class from the City supporters on that end.
That has there's no place for that.
No, not at all. I mean,
sport.
And it's not the first time City supporters have thrown items at United players.
It's also not just the City.
It's not just City supporters.
I know. It's all over Europe.
It's in general.
But like, obviously, that one fan that was doing that racist thing.
Yeah, he did a racial gesture.
You don't need to say. There's also, I don't know if it was just one City fan or a couple doing something that mocked the Munich air disaster.
I heard about that too. I didn't really see that. I don't know. That was ridiculous.
I know Darby's sometimes bringing out the worst of fans sometimes. Yeah. Well, especially when things are going poorly for them. But
the man who did the racial gesture, apparently he got arrested.
Yeah, he did get arrested. Apparently he said he was putting his hands in his pockets or something.
It didn't look like that, mate.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's usually when those people get in trouble, they try to make excuses that make no sense.
No, I just want to touch on that just a little bit, nothing crazy. It just, I found it insane how like an hour after that incident happened, people already figured out who that was.
Yeah, that's the internet nowadays.
Like I saw some tweet. I was like, "Oh, somebody find who this man is." And I look at the replies. They already found him. Like,
no, the internet is crazy now.
Like that guy's probably gonna lose his job.
Yeah, it looks bad on his family. So just PSA. If you go to a sporting event, try to be classy.
Just be respectful for the team,
or just don't be a bad person.
Because even the City players were just like, yo, what are you guys doing? Like, stop.
Even the slightest gesture can be, mistaken, and you could end up losing your job because it's all on live TV. People can see this.
No, exactly.
Now it's okay, like if you're trying banter, as long as you're not being completely offensive.
Throwing stuff at
you saw your typical. I mean, the wanker and whatnot.
Yeah, that's fine.
But that's been in football for years. But it's not the first time City supporters have thrown things at United players. I mean,
Coin and Ferdinand.
Yeah, a couple years ago that was funny. Not funny, but but that was crazy. And anyways,
it's just insane.
Let's move on.
It's kind of wrong since Raheem Sterling was racially abused by another team once.
Yeah,
and then now a City fan's racially abusing.
It's
just a lot of
bad right
hypocrisy.
Now. Yeah,
it is hypocritical. So I think maybe Raheem Sterling should say something because he's always saying something about racial.
But we know this is a very, 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 very small minority.
Yeah, it's not all City fans. It's just
not at all.
Yeah. So anyways, Let's move on to that. There were other games.
Yes, let's go on to another game. Which one do we want to go to?
Let's go talk about Chelsea getting. Well, they were defeated by Everton.
3-1.
Yeah.
And this is post Marco Silva.
Yeah. So Marco Silva was sacked after not a great Merseyside derby.
Yeah, he got put to shame.
I think I think he was already sacked before that match because
even if they won.
Yeah, even if he didn't manage like he wanted to try to get a draw or try to get a close win like he usually did in past Merseyside derbies. This one he just had a very high line and like just allowed Liverpool to attack, but while he was trying to attack himself at the same time.
Yeah.
But speaking about this, Duncan Ferguson, former Everton striker, former Newcastle striker, and former Rangers striker,
comes in and gets a 3-1 win over a very informed Chelsea.
Now, I don't know if you guys have
I saw Calvert-Lewis perform well for Everton, that's for sure.
I don't think he's been that good this season, but he was good. He was pretty damn good in this match.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know Duncan Ferguson has a reputation of being a tough guy, or at the same time as being a great striker in the past, but he's not someone you want to mess with, I don't think.
Why not?
I don't know. He just...
It's like a Scott Brown, as Liam always says.
I mean, I don't know exactly, but I just hear that he's not someone you want to mess with at all.
So,
because I heard a story. I don't know if this was true or not, but when he had his house robbed once by 2 burglars, but he was still in the house. The 2 burglars ended up in the hospital.
There's a lot of burglary that goes on in England when it comes to star players. Jesus.
Well, this was
Christ.
a long time ago.
I'm just saying.
But let's focus on this match. So
so he comes in, gets a big result against an informed Chelsea, though, and
not an informed, a little patchy, I would say.
Yeah, recently they've been a little bit patchy. They've been getting kind of some injuries here and there. But
they're still good, though.
But to lose 3-1 to Everton.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. So
but did the players just have that like new manager literal energy in them that
that was there because while watching the match, you could see that Everton fans had a lot of energy, were very excited, new future potentially.
Yeah. It helps when they get a really early goal by Carlson. So
the players were up for it.
Richarlison's goal is beautiful. My goodness.
It was nice, honestly. Like he started the play and got in, and
the counter was very intriguing to see. I mean, it's just weird to see how teams will perform better after a manager gets sacked, except for Arsenal.
Yeah,
I'm just saying Arsenal. True. Yeah, true. But anyways, so Chelsea lose 3-1 to Everton. Chelsea. This is not a good result at all.
No, Chelsea, because I thought Chelsea's backline was awful.
It did not look good. I'll be honest, they looked pretty lazy, especially Kurt Zuma. Come on, man.
Christensen just not really.
No,
he's not.
Really, I think this just screams to Lampard, "Hey, I need an actual center back."
Well, they have Tomori, who's pretty good.
They have been playing well for what they have, but I think he just needs that, a Maguire. I'm not saying he's amazing, world class, but like a Maguire, Van Dijk, a Laporte.
Well, you just went from Maguire to Van Dijk, and you're not.
You're
talking about not world class.
They need that. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
You're saying they need a center back that can get the job done.
Yes, thank you.
And will have small mistakes and is able to put good performances consistently.
Exactly.
No, 100%. Because you look at the Chelsea side, their midfield and attack has been fantastic.
Kovacic apparently scored his first goal in the Premier League ever. Yeah, it was a nice goal. Yeah. Kind of bounced, but whatever.
Yeah, he scored a goal against Valencia recently.
Yeah, so he's in good form
for them. Goal in 160.
And I think a lot of people don't talk about Kovacic a lot. I think he's been kind of under the radar, good. Which he played pretty well for Real Madrid during his time. So he's been an exciting midfielder.
He's been a promising player since he was at Inter. So
essentially, I didn't even know he was at Inter. My God.
Yeah, I remember he was always rumored to go to Liverpool, but never went.
Nah, you guys don't need him anymore.
No, we don't.
Now we talk about the Chelsea defense though, and who they could buy. Who could they buy?
Well,
who because their transfer ban has been eliminated.
So January's it's coming soon.
If they want to go for a big boy, you go to Napoli and say, "Hey, how much for Koulibaly?"
I don't think Koulibaly's gonna.
I wouldn't say so. I right there, I thought Waz was gonna say Lewis Dunk just instantly.
No. Yes and no, but
let's look at Zuma. He makes mistakes.
Yeah.
When he doesn't make mistakes, he's a good defender, but
He makes too many mistakes. Yeah.
Christensen, he's not physical enough. He's not brave enough in my opinion. He's a fine ball playing defender,
but you need that player who's not going to be afraid to make that big tackle.
Especially on the second goal, he was poor in the air there. That led to Calvert-Lewin.
Well, that's
scoring
because it was just a mix of both of what we just said. Zuma making a mistake and then Christensen missing a header basically, and then he gets a free goal.
And Arifa Balaga also, he's been making a lot of mistakes this season in general.
Inconsistent, essentially.
Like he terrible pass from the back that led to Everton scoring the third goal.
Yeah.
So a defender that could work well for Chelsea, that's tough. I'd say Tomori's fine, but maybe you get someone else.
They need some more stability.
Is Rudiger good enough, or would you get someone else?
I would try and get someone else, especially with the transfer ban being over now. So
I don't know. It's because it's always difficult to buy in January.
Oh, it definitely
is.
I
mean, I think in Italy there's a lot of top center backs that you can maybe go look for, or just even go find a center back.
It's just a third.
Just find someone who's experienced. I mean, you can't just go buy someone and throw them in there, but
yeah, an experienced guy would be fine, like in his late 20s, early 30s, just for like a 1 year, 2 year contract.
What do you think of Manolas?
He just moved to Napoli.
Okay, never mind then. Yeah, I can't really think of anyone off the top of my head except for maybe Koulibaly, just because I know things haven't looked good at Napoli.
I still don't think that's quite realistic now, especially with Napoli still potentially going to the next round of the Champions League, even though that could change.
Yeah. So,
and also,
who do you guys think they should sign for center back Chelsea? Because they need some help, and I mean, they can go and sign. They need maybe sign a couple players.
Just that one defender could really help them top three.
They probably also need a left back too.
Yeah. Well, when they have Aspilicueta playing there,
he's starting to trail off a little. He's not as good as he has been in the past few years.
Well, if you want a good left back in Europe, you go to Porto and you ask how much for Alex Telles. He's a quality left back, and
he is.
I've barely seen him play.
I mean, sure, Porto have not been performing well this season, but he's still quality, and
I don't know enough about him. Honestly.
Even Tagliafico. But Ajax, he's a good left back as well.
Well, he's gonna stay till the summer.
Probably. I mean, it's kind of tougher to sign players in January, but I'm just saying those are some names.
I know some Chelsea fans want Ben Chilwell. I'm like, calm down there.
Ben Chilwell's not terrible, but it's like would that be a downgrade?
You probably have to pay so much for him.
Not terrible. Leicester's doing fantastic. So like,
if you want any player from Leicester, you're gonna pay a lot.
Yeah,
and Harry Maguire is a prime example of that.
It's true. And so we've talked about Chelsea, but I don't know if we gave enough credit to Leicester or to Everton yet.
No, not at all. Honestly, usually I don't like to give credit to Everton because I don't think they're that great.
You got to give credit when credit's due.
Good bounce back win from the demo derby.
No,
against Liverpool.
100%.
Good, big 3 points for them because they're kind of in a relegation battle.
I thought Sidibe was fantastic for Everton.
Yeah,
I remember he was part of the Monaco winning team and. He kind of struggled in the last few seasons because Monaco hasn't really they've been changing a lot.
Yeah,
and he's kind of been stuck there. But he's been playing well in at least the recent matches I've seen for Everton, even in the matches they've lost. But with a new manager, there's some rumors coming up. Like let's see, I think I had something. Oh no, this is something different. But some rumored ones, obviously David Moyes.
Moisey back to Everton. Actually, I heard Niko Kovac is in the mix.
I have another rumor about Niko Kovac, which I'll mention later.
You know the rumor as well.
Yeah.
I saw David Moyes as well, though.
David Moyes, I found some Portuguese guy. I don't know if they want to go for another Portuguese guy after Marco Silva.
The thing is, though, it was a big result, and like, can you just keep him, right? Like.
So
we'll see. I mean, beating Chelsea is huge. That's massive.
No, it is, and
okay, so
it just depends if they can keep it going. And like you said, they're relegation battle.
Yeah. So the guy I was mentioning was Vitor Pereira. He's apparently managing in China right now.
Oh, I heard about that guy. Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah,
it's one of those weird things. It's kind of like for Vitor Pereira. It's like, why would you leave China? Because they're probably paying you a lot of money to manage in China. So it's like, why would you go to Everton? Where it's probably, rainy and dreary every day, I'm sure it's a bigger challenge, but,
Maybe they want the challenge.
Yeah, sometimes even when you get comfortable, and then you might need a new challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the prime example for that would be Axel Witsel. He went to China, got his paycheck, went back to Europe. So, there you go.
Yeah, it's true.
Apparently, according to Paul Joyce, Everton has spoken to Pochettino, Ancelotti, Vitor Pereira, David Moyes, Marcelino, and Ten Hag.
If I'm being honest, hey Poch, wait a bit. Give it some time.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Poch should wait until the summer to sign with a new club. Because you don't know how United's going to finish. And if United do finish poorly, I think Ole's out. Even though I'm personally Ole in, but it depends on how the season ends.
And Ancelotti, I'm not sure if he would be interested in that challenge right now. I know he rejected West Ham a few years ago.
That's a step down for Ancelotti.
Yeah. So. Marcelino, I think he can do better. And Ten Hag, I think he can do way better than that. No offense, Everton fans. Full offense, but... So, and then David Moyes... Do you go with David Moyes?
Well, yeah, I think maybe because he kind of knows the club.
But do you go back? There's always this saying, never go back.
Going back to the same manager is always risky. So.
No, actually maybe because it didn't really work out for Bayern.
Well, why did that manager leave?
Because Man United was at the door.
No, but I'm talking about just in a situation
it's
still if you leave on a bad note or getting sacked, do you really want to bring that manager
Unless
back?
If it's some cases like Zidane, right now it's going fine for him at Real Madrid.
Yeah, okay, but it's Zidane.
I feel if you're a player or manager that kind of, if you know the club, it typically you'll do well.
That's true though too. So
now I think we should move on to Spurs.
Oh yeah,
because they lost to United.
Lost midweek
to United. What was the score of that game?
2-1.
2-1. Okay, I forget.
So you don't remember?
I mean, there's been so many 2-1s recently. Sorry.
So should you know it's 2-1?
It was against Mourinho.
I know, but
that must have felt great.
No, it was amazing. I felt on top of the world. Ole in, Jose out. Anyways, back to Spurs. Yeah. So
they have they have a rough game against United,
and they smash
Burnley
5-0.
Yeah, crazy.
Some amazing goals in that game. Harry Kane looked like he can shoot from anywhere. His goals are nuts.
I mean, when he's feeling it, he's just the guy that just...
I think
he can score.
When he's feeling it, I think he's got the best finishing in Europe.
He's such a pure striker of the ball, but yeah, in this past year, honestly, he hasn't been his regular self.
I know, but Mourinho has somehow turned Spurs players into, world-class players.
Well, maybe it's just more motivation for them to step up and play at their level now.
I don't know what Mourinho did. Or maybe he spiked their waters. Maybe Space Jam. But, aside from the United game, where they got kind of outclassed, let's be honest. But Heung-min Son, he's been playing out of his mind. I think he's starting to prove he's one of the best players in the Premier League. Probably top 5 in my opinion. Top 5 forwards. That's my opinion. He's turning into...
I think I agree with you.
Thank you, Greg.
I think I agree.
Greg, and intellectual.
Thank you, All right, well, Lucas, who do you think?
Dele Alli has been playing...
Who's your top 5
wonderful.
Right now? Top 5 forwards Premiers right now.
Well,
2 of them play for Liverpool.
I'd say 3 of them play for Liverpool.
Okay, relax. That's actually not wrong.
It just depends what you consider... It depends how you consider it, because Firmino doesn't really score the goals, right?
Yes, but he's vital.
But he's fantastic.
Yeah,
I think if without Firmino, then there's a lot of plays.
No, I agree. Liverpool. I think Firmino makes that.
And then I also say Aguero's more important. Well, a better player than Son. I don't think that's controversial to say.
No, I think Heung-min Son's better than Aguero.
Really?
Especially in the last 2 years, I think he's been better.
Why
do you say that?
I just think Heung-min Son does a lot more work all over the pitch, while Aguero, you just see him more up front.
Well, because that's where he's...
I understand that. I'm just saying Heung-min Son can do it on the wing. He can do it up front. He scores vital goals for Spurs.
Would you say Son's better than Sterling?
I don't know. I think Sterling is a little bit a step ahead.
See, and that's the thing where it just comes to how you describe those,
I find Heung-min Son to be a more exciting player than Aguero as
you consider a forward to be their goal scorer or the one to make the plays? It all depends, right?
Yeah, well, I'd say a forward is a guy that plays the wing or as a striker.
Then again, it's where do you put Harry Kane in that conversation?
Aubameyang.
There's a lot of good players.
Not right now. I'm talking about right now.
On form right now?
I'm saying this current Premier League season. Oh, then you have to put Jamie Vardy in the conversation. So this is a very tough top one. I don't know. It's very.
See, that's why I was not really willing to accept that right now.
You know what? Maybe I'll take the defeat on this one. I'll take the L. Sometimes you gotta accept it.
Oh, he could be number 5. He could be number 6. Maybe some days he's number 3. But
it depends on the day.
As Lucas sometimes says, I'm currently living in the moment.
Yeah, you're
prisoner of the moment. And the man who usually sits here is always a prisoner of the moment.
Jeez, I don't want to sit in that chair.
Yeah, you're right. It might be cursed. Oh my goodness.
But let's focus on this result. We kind of got off track a little.
Yeah.
So it's a fantastic result for Mourinho, obviously, and for Tottenham fans.
Yeah.
Do you see this continuing on?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I think Mourinho's Spurs.
They brought something out in
They've been performing well ever since he's turned up. They took a loss to United, and I mean that was at Old Trafford, so it's not a surprising result. It was Spurs didn't play poorly in the game, but I mean once again.
Based on the table, it's close. That's close.
Yeah. So. I think Spurs will push for top 4 beside United.
Maybe kick out Chelsea.
Top 4.
Yeah. I think Chelsea. I think that it's starting to heat up. Like
three losses in their last 5.
Yeah, and it's the United are now picking up form, and Spurs are picking up form.
Yeah.
Sheffield's kind of dropped a little bit. They haven't been playing as well as they have been.
I mean, I think they'd still be happy in the position they are.
Of course.
In.
I mean, if that was Fulham, you'd be ecstatic.
Oh, Wolves are creeping up. Wolves are tied with you guys. Right
Wolves have also been playing well. So like I said earlier, the Premier League is a lot more competitive. It's not poor. It's just more competitive, and there's quality all around the league.
Because usually in the Prem, you just know your top 6, honestly, and you're just
I like that.
You know the top 6 depends what order they will be in, and then there's a big gap from 7 to
I like the fact that
down.
that's more competitive, but at the same time I don't, because I want to get top 4. Leave us alone.
Yeah.
Another thing. So the Sun goal that everyone was going crazy about. I remember I was seeing Mourinho. He was comparing that goal to Ronaldo, like the Brazilian Ronaldo, and his goal he had when he was at Barcelona. Where Mourinho said he was a assistant manager to Bobby Robson when Robson was managing at Barcelona, and he said just that goal it was
brilliant by Son. Honestly,
Yeah,
I don't think anyone.
I think he's improving like every season. He's gonna be a top talent for many years.
To just go for a run like that, it's ridiculous.
And I'm not even surprised. He's so talented. He can shoot, he can run, he can dribble, he can do everything. He's creative. He's got every tool in his box.
Mm-hmm.
So
the Sun toolbox.
Yeah.
And we can't forget about Harry Kane. He scored some pretty nice goals.
Also, Mourinho's PR is very good right now.
His PR is always good, usually.
Well, do you see what happened after the match?
No, please explain to us.
So he gave the match ball to youngster Troy Parrott, who made his debut.
Mourinho, you have a heart. That's good to see.
Or is this just insane PR by him?
No, I think Mourinho's just a good guy.
You think so?
A lot of players love him, so.
It's true.
But a lot of players don't like him.
Look, if you can get the respect and love from Zlatan Ibrahimovic, you're clearly doing something right. Zlatan loves Mourinho.
Yes.
And Zlatan only really loves himself. So, think about it. Anyways.
Zlatan does what Zlatan wants.
I'm just saying, Mourinho has great admiration and respect for many players, like, Drogba, for example. A lot of former Chelsea players. It's not a surprise.
Yeah.
A lot of players are not going to like him. So a lot of players are gonna like him. I'm like, you can't have everybody love you.
I mean, it's easier to like someone when you're playing well, right?
Plus, I mean, you're in a new club. You want the respect from the staff and the players. You want to show them, hey, I'm not an evil guy.
Mm-hmm.
So
if you perform on the pitch for me, I'll be a good guy to you.
Yeah. It's like a transaction. You're good to me. I'll be good to you.
Yeah, the golden rule.
Exactly.
I never imagine us saying that on the podcast.
I was like I was like Claudio Ranieri when he would buy food for the.
Did he buy pizza or McDonald's or something?
Pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza for
if they kept a clean sheet.
Yeah.
And they did. And he did it. So
they won the title. Anyways, let's move. You want to go on to Leicester then?
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah, we're going to Leicester because we're talking about that. We're talking about that now. So
okay, so Leicester City, they played Aston Villa today,
battered Villa 4-1.
Now, some not controversy, but on the first goal, before Jamie Vardy opened the scoring, and well, we'll get into Jamie Vardy in a second.
Yeah.
But Tyrone Mings, he had a bit of a hamstring problem, was off the pitch. Then the medical staff allowed him on the pitch, and you could tell something wasn't right with him. And Jamie Vardy easily got him behind the Aston Villa defense and scored. And Mings just looked like he couldn't do anything, and it kind of screwed over Villa for that first goal to happen.
Yeah.
So, not sure what they were doing there, but Jamie Vardy, 8 matches in a row, all of them had goals by him.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of similar to back when Leicester won the title, when he went on that run of like 13 games.
It was 11.
11, there you
Yeah,
go.
so he's getting close.
I read somewhere only 3 players have scored 8 goals in a row in the Premier League history. Vardy has done it twice now. Van Nistelrooy has done it twice, and Sturridge has done it once.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy to think about. He's just when he's on form, he's on form.
He's like a hawk. Like when he sees the ball, he goes after it, and you can't stop him when he's on his run. Like he's so fast. And I mean, that first goal was pretty fun to watch. He just went around the keeper, boom, goal.
Mm-hmm.
So Jamie Vardy, I mean, without a doubt, the best striker in the Premier League right now.
I'm so happy Kelechi Iheanacho scored again.
Speaking of the first Vardy goal, though, I found it funny because like he got past the keeper, then he like fanned on the ball, and then like the defender because it's all honesty, if Vardy shot it there, like the defender could have blocked it. You never actually know, and then poor defender. I don't remember. Who it was,
that's a nightmare for them. Maybe. I mean, unfortunate circumstances for Villa, but regardless of the fact, they still got battered 4-1. And Vardy had another goal during the game.
Yeah. Iheanacho got the second, which I'm happy that he's starting to get in some form. He struggled for the past year getting play time in general, but now these past 2 matches he's scored some important goals for the club.
Yeah, you need their getting into the Leicester side right now is difficult with everyone playing good. So
now Aston Villa, they got back into it. They made it 2-1 before halftime, but just after the halftime whistle,
good goal by Grealish, by the way.
Yeah.
I think that once again, he's been one of the more underrated players in the Premier League this season. I think he's starting to show his value and his quality.
Well, I think he's becoming less and less underrated right now.
Yeah, exactly. But I like what I'm seeing. He's an exciting player, and I think, just a bit of a shout. Maybe call him up to England.
I mean, there's several players in his position that could be called up to England that are creative midfielders, but if the Southgate want to play those type of players, he should, but and I'd say Maddison is one of those type of players.
No, they're both in the same conversation. I think they should be both being, tried out by Southgate in the English squad, but that's just my opinion. Anyways.
Yeah. But Johnny Evans, he's made it 3-1.
Yeah, good header by him.
And then Jamie Vardy made it 4-1 later on, which
you just knew Vardy would score in that.
And it's unfortunate because Villa have put in some good performances over the last couple of weeks. I mean, they drew United, so that's not bad. But they don't have bad players up front, but their defense is kind of awful.
I wouldn't say it's awful. It's just they have Greg's favorite player, Matt Target.
Yeah.
Matt Target.
I mean, Trezeguet.
He's great.
He's kind of a funny player.
I mean, he's an attacker, is he not?
Yeah, I'm just saying he shows glimpses of brilliance, but he doesn't really do much. That's just my opinion whenever I've watched him.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
fair enough.
Yeah, so overall, Leicester, 2nd place in the league.
Biggest threat to Liverpool.
But they're still 8 points behind.
Yeah. You guys have let it slip before, so... But you guys are undefeated, so...
Yeah. We've only dropped points once this season. Obviously, against 2, but...
Yeah, Heather. United.
Okay. But Liverpool played against Bournemouth. Pretty simple match. It was a little... The first 20, 30 minutes was kind of boring, honestly.
Not much. Insane that you guys just put 3 past any side almost.
No, not necessarily.
Almost every side you play, you usually put at least 3 past them.
No.
Except for United and Napoli.
Liverpool knows how to score.
I mean, Brighton 2, Napoli 1, Crystal Palace 2, Genk 2, Aston Villa 2, Spurs 2.
Okay, never mind.
It's just
every time I see Liverpool, it's a big scoreline.
I mean, the last 2 matches have been, yes.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Once Ake got injured, really, that was really unfortunate for Bournemouth, as he's definitely their best defender.
Yeah.
And he's obviously, I think he's good enough to be at least a rotation player in a top 6 club, maybe even Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, is he on loan?
No, he's owned, but Chelsea has the first option on him.
Oh, that's nice.
But yeah, once he came off, Liverpool, it was kind of...
They started to just take over.
Bournemouth just really never got into the match.
That's what Liverpool does.
Like it started with Oxlade-Chamberlain. I mean, I can't complain about that.
Yeah.
Naby Keita also scored, which I'm very happy with.
Yeah, I think it shows how I think Klopp has become a master at game management and squad rotation.
Ox's goal was the one from Jordan Henderson, right? The long ball.
ball
that was
over
a great ball.
Because right now you guys are in a position where it's December and you already have to focus on squad rotation with the amount of games you're playing.
And we're also going to Qatar.
Exactly. That does not help your case at all. Like,
no, it's gonna be a rough.
That's what I'm saying. It's December, and that's already a major focus, and that's usually something you shouldn't start focusing till March, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, no, it's always tough for these clubs in December and early January with all these matches.
There are a lot of games in December if you look.
There's so many midweek games.
Midweek, and then let's look.
Champions League, FA Cup's coming up soon.
I mean, you got Boxing Day, and then you got the New Year's Eve matchup. So
there's also matches before that as well.
Yeah.
Like if we look here, so the 14th,
Champions League,
the 21st, 22nd, then the Boxing Day.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's matches on the 28th and 29th, and then there's New Year's.
Is the Premier League just trying to kill these players? Like, Jesus.
I mean,
it's always rough, and I think all the players know that it's rough around that time.
Yeah.
It's great for the fans, though. Like, it's a great viewing experience. We're going to have some great podcasts during that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And obviously great viewing experiences.
We hope.
Hopefully.
But about this match, so I'm very happy seeing Naby Keita play. I thought he was fantastic. Honestly, he was great.
Yeah.
He wanted the ball all the time. He wanted to make something happen. Sometimes you always have to pass it sideways or backwards, but he
wanted to find the good play to make a pressing attack.
Yeah, exactly. Breaking the lines with his passes, making some good movements once he makes a pass. Yeah. It was great to see, and I was very happy about that.
And he got his goal too. So.
Yeah, a great assist by Salah.
That was fantastic.
But then Salah, he got his goal from a great pass from Naby Keita.
Yeah.
Now, I know I've talked about Naby Keita so many times.
He's a good player.
He just hasn't gotten much game time, either due to injury or stuff like that.
Or Liverpool playing good. So it's hard to switch your side when you're playing so good, right?
Yeah, but this was a good opportunity for him to show Klopp what he can do, and he did.
Yeah, it kind of helps that you have 3 of the top 5 players for the Ballon d'Or in your side.
I mean, one of them wasn't playing in this match.
Never mind then.
No, Mane didn't play, so.
Okay. He did not. That pissed me off because I have my fantasy team. I dropped points in fantasy because of him.
Sorry, we had to play Shaqiri and Curtis Jones.
You guys suck.
I can't see.
Did they suck? Because they won 3-0.
No, because my fantasy team dipped points. I went down in the world rankings in Fantasy Premier League. That pissed me off because I was in good form. And Mane doesn't play, and he always gets me my points.
What if Mane didn't score?
You would have still got him points.
It's true.
Yeah. Come on, Klopp. I thought we were bros. But
Waz does not know Jurgen.
Anyways.
Yeah, so another unfortunate thing for Bournemouth is that Callum Wilson apparently came off injured. I'm not sure about the severity. Yeah. Hopefully it's not too bad because these injuries are piling up for Bournemouth and they're getting closer and closer to the relegation zone. Only 1 point off it right now.
Poor form that they've been in.
5 losses, maybe even more than that.
That's crazy, honestly. For a team that you think they're good, honestly. They got some quality players on their team.
Yeah, I think they're an average Premier League side, but that can sometimes play good.
They're that mid-table team that you think could get to that maybe 8th or 9th place is how I see it.
But every season they always have a time where they have bad form and where they drop down the table and people think, oh, are Bournemouth going to get relegated? Yeah, they're going to be. I think they're going to be fine by the end of the season.
Yeah, I don't see them getting relegated.
Injuries are hurting them right now.
Yeah.
Well, is that all we have to say for Liverpool?
Yes.
Yeah. I think we should just skim through the rest of the Premier League sides. Nothing. Arsenal played tomorrow against West Ham, so. Will Arsenal get another loss? We'll have to find out. Because
I mean, it'll be really bad.
They lost to Brighton. Nothing against Brighton. Good side sometimes.
But it's Arsenal.
They shouldn't be losing. Especially after they sacked, Unai Emery. They haven't been performing well.
Well, that's the thing. Everton sacked their manager, came in the next game, played really good. Spurs sacked their manager, came in, played very good. Arsenal sacked their manager. Play terrible still.
And, same thing can be said about even Bayern Munich. They sacked their manager. They play well.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, speaking of Brighton, they drew Wolves 2-2 today.
I mean, I only got to see the second half of that match.
Basically, what I've learned is Brighton do not have that great of a defense. Lewis Dunk, he's good in the air. He's all right center back. They're not good defensively. They got burned on the counterattack. Diego Jota, 2 brilliant goals. Neil Maupay, I think I mispronounced it, for Brighton. He looked really good. He looked world class.
World class?
Just in this game in general, he looked pretty good.
World classes.
Just and he looked pretty good.
Adama looked pretty good.
Adama always looks good. He apparently made so many players pick up yellow cards against him.
Yeah, I read that.
So fast.
He's played 25 matches.
Yeah,
and there's been 21 yellow cards against him.
He's not just that fast. He's the tank. He's built my goodness. He's like the Anthony Joshua of the Premier League.
He's a lot shorter.
Yeah, but
he's definitely one of the more fun players in the Premier League, along with Saint-Maximin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who? Speaking of Saint-Maximin, he unfortunately got injured in the Newcastle-Southampton game.
He's
Newcastle beat Southampton 2-1.
That's huge, honestly.
Yeah, John Joe Shelby scores again. He's been in good form. He's also very. One thing about Newcastle, they're good set pieces, which I've noticed. Federico Fernandez scored a nice. It wasn't a header. I can't remember. I was watching. I saw the goal though.
Yeah.
But
how was Saint-Maximin in this match?
He got injured. He was still a threat.
But was that late? Because he wasn't subbed off.
I'm not sure, but he did pick up. It was not a fun injury. So I can't remember the extent of it. I read on Twitter. Apologies since I don't remember, but speedy recovery to him. He's an exciting player. Another thing, Danny Ings scored.
Yeah, he's still in form. So.
Yeah, this is the 5th game in a row where he scored.
What?
Fun fact: best start to his career, not career.
Best run of his career.
Yeah.
Liverpool.
So maybe he'll break Vardy's record. maybe he'll break Vardy's record.
Yeah, if Danny Ings scores 11 goals in a row, 11 matches in a row, I will.
If Danny Ings scored 11 goals in the Prem, that's just good already.
I will buy a Danny Ings jersey if Danny Ings scores in 11 matches in a row.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
And to top off the Premier League, Southampton beat Norwich 2-1. Sheffield, my bad.
Southampton just lost to Newcastle.
I'm sorry, their colors are similar in Sheffield, Southampton, whatever. Tete scored for Norwich. Nice goal from outside the box.
Not ideal for Norwich. They're still in the relegation.
They've been very poor.
It's good that Sheffield came back and got a win, though, after a couple of rough results.
King of the match for Sheffield was George Baldock. I don't know why I had to insert that. It's just on my phone. I'm looking at my phone. I'm sorry if that's a problem for some.
It is a problem for some, Was.
It is. It is a problem for me. I have an addiction to my phone. I will admit that.
I think we know that. So,
yeah.
But let's look at the table right now. So we've mentioned that Liverpool, Leicester are top 2 right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Manchester City in 3rd, Chelsea in 4th, Manchester United tied with Wolves.
Yeah.
Spurs in 7th, Sheffield in 8th. We didn't mention Crystal Palace. They drew Watford 0-0.
Oh, my bad.
Not a great result.
No, that was on Friday as well.
But Newcastle, if Arsenal doesn't get a result against West Ham, Newcastle will have more points than Arsenal.
That'll be beautiful.
Newcastle.
I think we all predicted Newcastle get relegated.
No, I didn't. I don't think I did.
No.
I think I did.
Well, that's your fault.
Yeah, it's true.
I guess my predictions have been terrible.
Right now, the bottom relegation looks like Southampton, Norwich, and Watford. Aston Villa is 17th. I hope they can pick it up because they have some exciting players.
Yeah, I like
that's
it.
Actually really cool. Jeez.
Yeah, it's extremely tight.
Yeah,
well, it's a massive game for West Ham.
The only team I don't see, Norwich and Watford. I don't think it's gonna take a lot for them to get out of the relegation zone.
You don't trust Nigel Pearson for Watford?
Not at all. They have 9 points. They have 1 win.
Yeah, that's
6 draws.
That's not.
I'm
good.
sorry,
it's
Watford supporters. I'm so sorry.
Considering their start last season,
they've had some good players over the last couple of years. But I think that wraps up the Premier League.
Yeah.
Thank God. We talked a lot about the Premier League.
Yeah, but you did mention Niko Kovac earlier.
Yeah, he was linked with Everton, and he's also linked with Arsenal.
Yeah, because he was at Everton yesterday.
Yeah.
And he will watch Arsenal on Monday night. He wants to replace Unai Emery. I'm not sure if this is a reliable source or not, but if I was Arsenal, I don't think he's the right man for the job.
No. If you get sacked from Bayern, you're not right for the job.
I mean, I think he's good at a club where there's not that much pressure. But
there's a lot of pressure.
I also don't think he's right for Everton. I don't know. That's my opinion.
I think there's a lot of pressure at Everton.
Pressure too, yeah.
Like he's not a bad manager. When he joined Frankfurt at first as a manager, he saved them from relegation and then had them won a trophy for them the season after. So he's not a terrible manager. It's just sometimes things just go wrong, and when you're at a top club, there's too much pressure to handle for some.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But speaking about Bayern and the Bundesliga,
Dun dun dun.
It's not as good as Liam's.
It's time for the Bundesliga.
the best league in Europe.
Debatable.
It's pretty good,
but very competitive. Not poor, competitive. That's my opinion again.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna start it off at the big game.
Bayern Munich versus Borussia Mönchengladbach. That's a mouthful. This is a massive game because Mönchengladbach are still sitting in first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Surprisingly. And Bayern are, what, fifth now? Seventh. It's so up and down. It's insane.
You're up and down.
I mean,
but it's just a crazy match.
Yeah.
Because it's the team in first and then the team that everyone expects to be in first going at it.
So in this match, Bayern were pretty good in the first half. They were creating quite a few chances.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not the most clear-cut chances, but there's quite a few half chances that could have been taken better.
Yeah.
Mönchengladbach just did not look like they were on the pace. They had some rotation to their sides from the squad from last Sunday, and you could tell honestly with how they were playing. But Bayern, they got a goal early in the second half.
Who scored?
Ivan Perisic.
Lewandowski has stopped scoring. My heart.
Ever since he said that he's addicted to goals, he must have gotten some help.
Maybe that was a bit of a jinx.
Went to a doctor.
Yeah.
He went to rehab.
Rehab for scoring goals. That's not bad.
But soon after, I think Marco Rose, he realized we can't keep playing like this. We can't get a result if we do. Yeah. So he made a substitution. He brought he brought Mbolo on, and things looked a lot better for Mönchengladbach. They started playing much better, and they had a corner kick later on. And let's see if I can get this name right. Ben Sebani, I think.
Wow. Anyways,
but he scores a beast header. What I don't know. When you see a header just
like a power.
Yeah, you just love to see.
They're nice.
It's like a bullet off your head. It's insane.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Gladbach were playing better. Bayern were still in it, but they definitely weren't playing as well as they were in the first half.
Yeah.
And then late on, I think it's a ball to Mbolo.
Mbolo he's a good talent.
Yeah. So. It might have been Mark Stern. I hope I'm not getting it wrong. One of the two. But they get on a ball given to them. Kimi completely messes up the ball. And Javi Martinez tries to slide tackle the ball, misses the ball, and the
red card.
Yeah, the player pretty much drops, and red card given to Javi Martinez.
Yeah. And basically handing Mönchengladbach the victory.
Yeah, because it's a penalty for Mönchengladbach, and the same player that scored the header scores the penalty. Mönchengladbach go crazy. The fans are going are very excited. Players from the bench running towards the team. Amazing scenes.
Anytime you beat Bayern in the Bundesliga, it's like you win the Champions League. That's a bit of a reach, but you know what? It's huge.
It's massive.
Yeah.
It's helping them with their first place, the fact that they're in first place right now.
And Fabian had his comments, of course. He said the game was great. I hope they don't sack Fleek. The team plays well, and it's not his fault. Hope they don't make dumb decisions while thinking Martinez so stupid.
And also it's Thuram who got tackled, so my apologies earlier. It was a really dumb decision by Martinez. He knew it. When he saw the ref about to take the yellow card out of his pocket and give a second yellow. Yeah, he knew. He just walked away. He's like, I'm off. Damn it.
Yeah.
Bayern obviously complained towards the ref after the match. That's what they usually do.
This is just what everyone does now.
This is also now the only time Bayern were this low or lower in the Bundesliga was 94, 91, 77, and 74.
So 1994 was the last time?
Yes.
So let's check out the standings in that Bundesliga season then. So 1993-94, I would assume.
Yeah.
Or maybe the season after. They finished in... Okay, it was probably the season after because they won the league. Yeah, it was definitely this one because in 1994-95 season, they finished 6th.
Wow.
Yeah, which is
Could you imagine
crazy.
if Bayern Munich misses the Champions League?
That would be ridiculous.
You think United missing the Champions League is bad? Wait till you see Bayern miss it. Oh my god!
Not even getting into Europa League.
No, some still Europa League.
But just imagine.
Well, they would hopefully win the Europa League. And
Imagine. You gotta use your imagination here. Come on.
At least Lewandowski would win a European trophy. Just saying. If he doesn't win it this year, then I don't know.
Still in Champions League.
So
still win it.
It's still a problem with Bayern. So let's look at their bench. So they had Pavard off the bench, which Boateng came back, which was good for them. Philippe Coutinho on the bench. He started well early for them, but he hasn't really done much as of late.
Dropped off.
At least it seems like it.
Yeah.
Ivan Perisic, he scored the goal off the bench, but
he's not the starting player for them. He'll come on and do what he needs to do.
I agree. And Serge Gnabry, obviously we know his talent. He didn't even come off the bench.
Yeah, no. Bayern have kind of been weird last two results. Did they lose last game too? No.
Yeah, they lost to Leverkusen 2-1. I don't think they deserved to lose that match though. I thought they played very well.
Yeah, Bayern need to figure this out because Flick has done well with them, but I think it's more so coming down to the players need to performing better.
But what a
The
job
Leverkusen game was the one we predicted.
And we clearly know nothing about Leverkusen.
Sounds about right.
But Marco Rose, what a job he's doing with this Gladbach team. Yeah. He knows how to win. He's won Austrian Bundesliga.
I think if they end up winning the league, he's gonna be a manager. Teams are gonna look at, hey, want to come to the Premier League?
I think he was already a guy people have considered. It's just, could he do it in a bigger league? And right now he's
doing it in the Bundesliga.
He's taking a club that they weren't in the top 4 last season. They missed out by a few points, but
and they're showing what they're capable of.
So what do you guys think? Do you think Mönchengladbach can win the Bundesliga? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Well, let's look at the other results and make some guesses. Leipzig, they defeat Hoffenheim 3-1.
Yeah, they're still
they could end up winning the league still.
2 goals by Timo Werner and a goal by Sabitzer.
Timo Werner has been excellent this year.
Him and Lewandowski just can't stop scoring. Like, honestly,
Werner's catching up to Lewandowski.
Yeah, well, Lewandowski hasn't scored 2-3 games now.
Yeah,
that's including all competitions, right? So,
he's 1 goal behind Lewandowski now.
He's finally kind of showing his potential, and it'll be interesting to see what if he can do this for Germany at the Euros.
That's true,
Werner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely.
I hope he can.
I didn't get to catch this match because the Bayern match was at the same time. Yeah. I recorded it, so I might have to watch another day, but.
Another thing, Dortmund played this week.
Yeah, Dortmund, they completely smashed Fortuna Dusseldorf. It's very odd to see them defeat a relegation-threatening club.
That is true.
They can't show up.
Because Dortmund are also kind of wishy-washy, where they'll get a string of poor results and then they'll just smash a team.
Maybe it's the blackout kits right now. No, they were all
black.
I
heard about that. Those kits are sold out within 2 hours.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, Borussia Dortmund have an all black kit right now.
Even the badge is black.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. You should check it out.
Well, you can't buy it.
You can't buy it. Sold out. But check it out. It's really nice.
Marco Reus with 2, Thorgan Hazard with 1, and Jadon Sancho with 2.
Yeah. Well,
Jadon Sancho's stock's rising, and there are rumors that he may leave in January.
I don't think he's gonna leave in January.
No,
it'd be crazy if he did, but.
I mean, it's just something weird between Sancho and the club right now.
I think that's more the media twisting some things. I think obviously he probably wasn't too happy being subbed off against Bayern so early in the first half.
Yeah.
But that was due to his performance, and he needs to look at himself. And I think in recent matches he has been, and because he's been performing quite well.
And back in
he's been scoring quite a bit.
The Barca game where he didn't get started, and then.
Yeah, he scored. He also scored recently in the Bundesliga as well, I think, against Hertha Berlin. So he's not been doing too badly lately. And honestly, all seasons,
showing that he wasn't just a one-season wonder kind of thing.
I mean, 7 assists so far. That's not bad.
No, not at all.
It's very good.
Thomas Müller has 9 assists. Who would have thought that?
Just give it to Lewandowski. He scores assists.
Fair enough. Freiburg, they get a 1-0 victory. They continue their surprising start to this season.
Mm-hmm.
And also, this one was another big game. Bayer Leverkusen Schalke. Bayer Leverkusen get a 2-1 victory over Schalke.
Leverkusen are getting into some good form now.
Yeah, so two big wins in a row.
This is without Kai Havertz playing too.
He didn't play in this match?
Just check, because I know he's been injured recently.
Played.
Okay,
he got subbed off a little earlier, but he still played.
My opinion, he was the golden boy.
Came back from injury.
My opinion, he's the golden boy. Kai Havertz.
What about Sancho?
No, Kai Havertz.
Okay.
Just my opinion.
Interesting.
But Alario gets 2 goals for Leverkusen. Schalke get one back in the 82nd minute, but Leverkusen, they keep the lead. They get the victory. So, we'll just go through the other results quickly. Yeah. Paderborn finally gets a win. They defeated Werder Bremen. Union Berlin defeated Köln 2-0. Augsburg defeated Mainz 2-1, which I saw Mainz's goal, and Augsburg's keeper is not very good, in my opinion. I've seen him several times this season. He's let in some stinkers. But anyways, Eintracht Frankfurt, they, I think, came back and tied Hertha Berlin. So, not a great start for Jurgen Klinsmann at Hertha Berlin.
No, but Frankfurt have been performing well in the Bundesliga this year, which is nice to see. Yeah, they're not terrible, but
they haven't won in their last 4.
Never mind, that's not that great.
But looking at the standings, Mönchengladbach staying in first place with 31 points.
I kind of hope they win the league, but also I have a soft spot for Dortmund, so I hope they can end up winning the league.
You have a soft spot for many teams, Walls.
Shush.
Leipzig are currently second with 30 points. They've been on fire recently, fantastic form. Borussia Dortmund, they're third place right now. We were thinking Favre, he's going to get sacked in the past, but he's come back. They've won 2 matches in a row. And they're third place, still 5 points off the top. But
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the Bundesliga shapes up. I mean, the winter break is coming back.
Yeah, there's still coming up. 3 more matches left this half season.
So maybe the winter break could have an impact on the Bundesliga table.
Oh, it definitely will.
Yeah, it always does. It did last season. Like I think I mentioned last season, Gladbach were very high up, and they just collapsed.
This might be
wasn't Bayern Munich down, and that's when they started.
That's when Dortmund and Bayern were like hammer and tongs.
I think Dortmund had a 9-point lead over Bayern, and then Dortmund just played terribly.
Yeah.
Liverpool have an 8-point lead on Leicester, right?
Yes, but
so just be careful. Look what happened to Dortmund.
I don't see Liverpool dropping.
Just saying. Knock on wood.
I don't see Liverpool dropping.
But anyways, let's refocus.
But Schalke 4th place with 25 points, 6 points off top. Tied with them are Freiburg in 5th, Leverkusen in 6th, and then Bayern Munich 24th. I mean, not 24th.
That'd be really bad.
Yeah, you're not even in the league.
Exactly.
7th place right now, 24 points, 7 points off the top. It's not as bad as last season where there were 9 points off the top, but there's more teams in front of them.
Like, you got to get through these teams to get up there. Like
now, there's still 3 more matches left this half season, and they could easily be in a maybe
get 3 points off. Get 9 points, and it'll be much better for them. But if they don't, they drop another game, it's gonna look really bad.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Already 4 losses this season, which is incredible.
It's like Manchester City, honestly. So
I mean, to be fair, a lot of the Bundesliga teams have lost a lot. I mean,
yeah,
very competitive. I like it.
Yes, I love this league.
That it's close.
I think we should also move on to a league that's turning to become a little bit more competitive than usual.
Good thing. It's a shame that Liam isn't here for.
I know. Italy, the Serie A.
Yeah.
The big boys Juventus have taken an L for once. It's really weird to see Juventus lose.
Yeah.
They lost 3-1 to Lazio, who have not been too hot this year.
No, they've been very good this season.
I bloody know nothing. I know Man United, and that seems to be about it.
Was having an off day.
Yeah, sometimes.
Off night.
Yeah.
Very late.
Well, my thoughts about Juventus. I'm not their biggest fan.
Neither am I.
Oh, okay. Greg, our thoughts about Juventus. We're not the biggest fans, right?
Yeah, I know that.
So I don't know. I absolutely loved this result.
I like that Juventus lose. Like I'd rather it be close because we always just think, or at least I think that Juventus is always just gonna win.
They've had like
so it's nice when they lose
the Serie A, and this just helps Inter even more.
It's fun. I find it funny that Ronaldo scored and then they lose. Usually Ronaldo doesn't score and they win right now. So
I mean, Ronaldo hasn't been scoring as much as he used to. So
we also have a friend that's an Inter fan, so we also want him to be happy too.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see that club actually lift a trophy for once. When was the last time? 2010? I can't remember.
Jeez. But yeah, so Juventus opened up the scoring. Goal for Cristiano Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo, see. I just wanted to say
wow. All right.
But only time I'll give Ronaldo credit. Yeah, I'm a United fan. I'm like, just something about that guy. I'm not the biggest fan of.
You can admit he's one of the best of all time.
Oh, of course. There's no doubt about that. He is, up there, but yeah.
But before halftime, Luis Felipe for Lazio scores banging header. Love the headers.
Yeah.
But then halftime rolls around. Both teams fighting. There was a tackle from Luis Felipe that some thought might have been a red. Yeah. Some might thought it's a yellow. Either way, there was no foul. Yeah, I don't think there's a foul given. Juventus were very mad about it.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, the match continues. And even if VAR doesn't look into it, you have to continue on. And in the 69th minute, a ball is sent in behind, I think, towards Lazzari, who we made a TikTok video about him. And
Lucas made a TikTok video about him. But yes,
on the 90th minute, though.
Yes.
But, yeah, he's getting sent in behind. And Cuadrado takes him out. Initially, he's given a yellow. But when you look at the replay, you see, if Lazzari gets past Cuadrado...
He's away.
Yeah, you don't really think those other two players are going to catch up.
No.
So, the ref looks at VAR, and he changes his mind. Not a yellow. Red card, Cuadrado. Get out of here. Juventus absolutely in range. Right?
Yeah.
Bonucci couldn't believe it. But, free kick given later on in the match. A great ball to Milinkovic-Savic, though. And he takes it down. Beautiful first touch.
Yeah.
And gets it past Szczęsny and makes it 2-1 Lazio.
Liam would say Szczęsny's crap.
No, Liam has admitted Szczęsny is good.
Yeah, I'm just saying he would say, it's the Polish kid. Without if Juventus defense doesn't play bad, he's not gonna save him. There you go.
Well, they get a red card and they're gonna have to sit back even more, and then it gets difficult.
3-1 against Juventus. Not many teams do that.
But there was also there's still another penalty though. Jeez. Penalty was given. It was.
This sounds like a classic Italian fair, like just a classic Italian match.
Yeah, Joaquin Correa gets on a breakaway, tries to round Szczęsny. Szczęsny takes him out. Yellow card for him. Penalty for Lazio. Immobile takes it. Been fantastic this season.
Yep.
We mentioned last week he might be on a. He's
been one of the best strikers in Europe.
Yeah. Like he could break Higuain's record for most goals in a season. Yeah. But he doesn't add to it this time. Szczęsny saves it. Then he saves the rebound off it. And, Juventus are still in it. You get that feeling. Juventus might actually get the...
After that, they'll come back and get that tie.
It's Juventus. They always do it. They always find a way back.
They always find a way to score a goal or tie the game or put pressure on somehow to get a result.
But it's not this time.
Good.
Yeah. Because Lazzari gets in behind. He tries to shoot on goal, gets stopped by Szczęsny, and then the rebound goes to Caicedo. He slices the ball into the back of the net. 3-1. Everyone in Rome is going crazy except for Roma fans. And it's 3-1 Lazio. A huge victory. And while watching the game, they showed right after the goal just a shocked Juventus fan, and she... I'll post a photo of it on YouTube right now, but it was pretty fun.
Hey, Juventus fans, guess what? You can lose matches. This happens in sport.
What?
There's nothing wrong with losing. Just accept it and move on.
It's true though.
Can you imagine if Juventus fans start crying because they don't win the title? You've won the title for the past how many years?
Let someone else win it.
And you're gonna get emotional about it
after not being happy about just winning Serie A last season and sacking Max Allegri because you didn't win the Champions League.
Well, it's going to look really bad and sorry if they don't win the league.
It would, honestly.
Because they have Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, you got to be able to win the league with him at least.
Well, some are saying that Juventus look better without Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
This season?
I don't know. I feel like they don't need him necessarily.
Because, I don't know. Sorry, there's times where he doesn't play Ronaldo and Juventus have been playing a little better.
Yeah. But that's what I was saying.
And he's always pissed off when he gets subbed off.
But when you have him on your team, that image, that star, you have to play him or it's going to just look bad on your club.
Yeah.
And
people would take to the side of Ronaldo over the side of Juventus. So.
Now, whether that's the case or not, he still scored in this match, and Juventus just weren't good enough.
Yeah.
And obviously that red card hinders things, but it's not ideal. And if we look at other results, Inter Milan, they tied Roma 0-0. That
would have been great for Inter to get a big win and
result there.
Take the lead on the title for once.
Yeah, but obviously it's a tough match. Roma played pretty well defensively, even though Inter did have some chances that they didn't take.
Smaldini.
Getting that clean sheet.
Maybe he'll come back to United.
Apparently, I think I read somewhere that maybe a 20 million deal for him to stay at Roma.
Yeah, Roma fans are actually liking him a lot, and they want to keep him. Like, I mean,
apparently he wants to stay too.
I mean, he's playing fantastic. Why would he not want to stay?
I mean, like, let's be honest. United's defense is playing well, so it'd be nice to have him, but
as an
backup
option instead of
Jones.
You
had that option last season.
He was pretty good under Louis van Gaal. He's not a terrible defender.
That was several years ago.
I mean, clearly Mourinho knew how to work him as well in the year that they got second. So he's not a bad defender. He just had an off year.
Yeah,
and he scored a winner against Man City like a couple of years ago too. So he's not bad. He's good. Apparently, he's really good at heading the ball. Something that you tend to admire.
I like how he says apparently as the United.
I mean, you've watched him.
You've seen him.
I'm just saying he's really good in the air.
Yes. Okay. I mean, most defenders are.
Yeah, but he just kind of takes them up a notch.
You would hope they're good in the air. How about that?
Yeah. But, I don't know, 0-0 draw. I thought the match was all right. Some people thought it was boring, which, fair enough, 0-0.
0-0 result, all right.
I mean,
come on, mate.
Thank goodness the Juventus Lazio result happened, or Liam would have been like, 0-0.
Typical.
It was 0-0.
He's not here, okay?
So, let's look at the table, the title race right now.
Yeah.
Inter Milan, with that draw, they're at 38 points. Juventus, with that loss, are now at 36.
Yeah.
But, we usually talk about those two teams in a title race. We did talk about Napoli earlier in the year for the title race, but Lazio, 33 points. They've won each of their last 5 matches in Serie A. Only 3 points behind Juventus, 5 behind Inter. Would you consider them in the title race?
Potentially, yeah.
Well, if Juventus can slip, like, it shows that Juventus aren't, like, invincible. Right?
Could you imagine if Juventus slip and Lazio actually end up winning the title instead of Inter?
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
I know, but Inter fans
not
so
to Inter fans. I'm sorry, but
it's like I know Inter's got a curse right now where they just can't seem to win a trophy, or I don't know.
Well, it's
from what I've seen.
I like that it's close and it's not just Juventus 12 points ahead of everyone else.
That was kind of the case 2 years ago when it was Napoli and Juventus head to head. And eventually Juventus ended up winning the title, no surprise. But
Napoli kind of choked it at the end.
Yeah, it's kind of their fault, let's be honest.
They beat Juventus, remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that cool volley moment.
Oh, powerful header.
We had that when we did a radio show before we started this podcast. We without Greg, because we
in the pre-90th minute days.
Yes. We made intros for the radio show just for fun. And we included that cool volley clip.
Oh, right. I remember that. Yeah, that's nuts. Good old days.
Yeah, we thought, no, Napoli, they could win the league, but next game, they bottled it. So it's important for these clubs what they do next. How do they react to these results? Obviously, Inter, they don't win. Do they go out and have a great performance and get a victory? Do Juventus improve on their performances? Yeah. That's 2 drop matches in a row.
I mean, it's funny because Inter, it would have been better if they won, of course, and they took advantage of Juventus losing, but they still did better than Juventus in that match day. So
the thing I worry about Inter, they got a Champions League game midweek against Barcelona.
Are they going to focus more on that?
Well, not just focus. I think they're going to focus on both, obviously, because that's what you do as a footballer. But sometimes you gotta, if you get a big, say Inter get a big result against Barcelona, because Barcelona, I don't think they need to win the match. I'm not 100% sure about that.
Doesn't matter. They're still going to want to win it.
Yeah, they might rotate some of their side, and say Inter get that big victory. That's a huge adrenaline rush for for those players.
Sometimes they drop off after a big game like that.
Yeah, well, if they drop off on the fixture, I don't know who they play next week, but they play Fiorentina, who've been poor, but they might be sacking their manager because he's been terrible. What if we get that manager reaction and Inter
come up
have a poor result next week? You never know. It could happen.
Anything can happen.
He's done really well with Inter.
Yeah, it's very important for him to make sure their levels don't drop off. They've had several injuries to their midfield so far this season.
Yeah.
So it's been pretty tough for them, but can they get it done?
I think the key for them is just to keep their defense healthy. Because at the end of the day, defense is going to win you championships.
It's true.
So do goals, though.
Oh, man, they got Romelu Lukaku who's doing well. So,
I think the defense.
Anything else in Italy?
In Italy, Napoli, they drew another match. They don't win.
They need to perform better.
Yeah. Good old Pietro Zielinski scored the goal. I think Zielinski's honestly a player that a lot of people in Europe need to start paying attention to.
I think he hasn't been at his best.
But he's still a pretty good midfielder. I'll be honest, I would take him at United.
I would take him too.
Yeah, he's a quality midfielder. So if you don't know, Lucas and I are Polish. We're a little bit biased here for like Lewandowski, Piszczek, and
I'm alone here.
This guy is Canadian, so nothing against Canada. We live in Canada. We love Canada.
Waz and I are first generation Canadians.
Essentially, yes.
But
anyways, continuing on.
I actually want to show you guys something. I'm not sure if I can show it on screen. Well, I'll probably do what I did with when the Frankfurt player knocked down that coach.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But I'll show you guys. So this is titled Mario Rui.
I heard about this.
So
Yeah.
all right. So I'll show you guys this, and you guys can give your reactions to it.
All right.
We start playing it. Mario Rui dribbling the ball up on a counter attack,
Yeah.
and look around. We see these Napoli players just jogging up the field.
I would be.
Wow.
That is crazy, honestly.
And then
like
you look back at these players.
just no motivation to even like try. What was the score during at that time?
I have no idea, but the
Wow.
match ended 1-1.
Yeah, like
So what's your reactions to this? Like,
Reminds me of my FIFA Ultimate Team and FUT Champs.
why is
So-
that?
Just sometimes they're just stupid. Yeah.
like I just find that ridiculous. Like if I was a manager and I saw that, I would be so furious. Especially if they're
At least somebody
drawn.
wants to win.
Mario Rui, yeah.
Mario
Yeah, Mauro
Rui.
Ruiz, he wants to win. The rest of the team is like, yeah, we'll just take the, like.
No, and Napoli is a team that should be fighting for that title spot, and they're in seventh.
Yeah, clearly
right?
the
Like,
motivation and drive isn't there.
Yeah. Ancelotti's been a disaster this season.
And honestly, if none of those players have a drive to win or even chase after the game, get those players out of your club.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they need to transition, right?
They
Yeah,
need
essentially.
a change.
If there is no drive, you're just going to go downhill.
Like they were so close. Most of those players were so close to the
There's a
title.
lot of world-class talent there, too, especially on Dries Mertens, Insigne, Koulibaly. Like, these are amazing players, and they should be doing better.
I think some of them can stay. I think that's fine. But
yeah, but who stays and who goes?
I think there's definitely some players that's very obvious they should go.
Mm-hmm.
Like Alan.
yeah,
Unfortunately, he's a good midfielder. I like him.
He had a potential big move to PSG last January that was called off because Napoli didn't want to sell him.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But he wasn't very happy, and his performances dropped after that.
Jesus.
And there's obviously other players like Insigne. Like, you're supposed to be this resemblance of the city of Naples. You're supposed to be that guy that gets the goals, gets involved in the offense, and is able to contribute a lot to the team. But you're the captain of the team, for goodness sake. And
You gotta like get those players doing something. Like I'm just actually.
It's a shame. There's no drive there. They're just letting their teammates down. It's a shame to see what's happening in Napoli. For whatever reason, they can turn up in the Champions League against Liverpool, but they can't turn up against who do they play against?
Napoli?
Yeah.
They play Genk next time.
No, I think.
No,
he
who do they
meant-
play in that game?
Oh, Udinese.
Come on, you guys should win that.
What
Yeah.
place is Udinese? 16th.
Yeah, they have to do better.
Especially the way like Mario Ruiz want to do. He wants to
Not
do the
Ruiz.
Mario
Ruiz?
Rui.
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 It's a
Yeah.
dumb name. I'm sorry, it's late. Sorry.
Yeah, so
Anyways, yeah.
Napoli are on the same points as Parma.
Shameful.
They're 7 points behind 6th place.
Yeah.
How many points behind the title? 17.
Yeah, no, that is
No.
ridiculous.
I don't know if they'll even get
Considering
Champions League.
Napoli was in a like.
Will
a
they
1
even
or
get
2.
Champions League at this point?
I don't think so, honestly.
Yeah.
I think,
With how that they're playing there and like what they're showing on the pitch, probably not.
I mean, like,
It's crazy to say, but AC Milan have a better chance of getting Champions League than Napoli.
AC Milan have less points than Napoli.
But with the way Napoli's doing, if you're doing things like this, you're not going to do well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, there could be context to that we don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot going on behind the scenes in Napoli that's kind of causing a lot of distress, and it sucks to see it on the pitch.
So we'll just round off Serie A
Yeah.
quickly because I think we covered mostly everything.
Yeah.
Atalanta, they come back with a late winner against Verona, 3-2 victory. Genoa, they tie Lecce 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
Brescia, a goal from Mario Balotelli gives them a victory over Spal. Cagliari, they come back down 2-0 to get a draw against Sassuolo. Cagliari have been one of the surprising teams in Serie A this season, currently in 4th place.
Yeah.
So good for them.
It's a big result to come back to, like when you're down like that, to get something out of the game.
Torino, 2-1 victory over Fiorentina. Good for them. But Fiorentina, will they be sacking Montella?
No, we'll see.
He's been on the chopping block for the entire season, honestly. So I don't know how much longer this guy has. Parma, they get a victory over Sampdoria. Sampdoria in trouble right now. I think they're 20th place. No, they're 17th, but it's only 1 point above relegation. And finally, AC Milan, 3-2 victory over Bologna. Piontek finally scores.
It was a penalty, though.
Yeah. But still, that's maybe good for the confidence.
Fun fact about Bologna, apparently they're in contact with Zlatan.
Yes. Both clubs. This was a Zlatan derby.
Technically, it could be. Yeah, it's like, hey, can you imagine if he said, whoever wins match, I sign the club.
I mean,
it was a draw.
No, it was AC Milan victory.
Victory for AC Milan. Well, we'll see what happens with
Zlatan back to Milan. That'd be exciting, though.
Well, Piontek isn't playing.
Oh, he is playing, but
no, if Zlatan's playing, he's not playing.
I don't know.
Anyways.
But I know with Zlatan, it's according to Di Marzio, they say it's a 2-year contract offer. First season is 3 million euros for the season. Second season is 6 million euros. Not bad money. And also Bologna, like you mentioned, there's I think sporting director or something like that saying they're in talks with Zlatan.
Yeah,
I know Zlatan has a good relationship with Bologna's manager, who is going through leukemia right now. So we'll see what happens with that.
Wow. Yeah. All right then.
Also, we didn't mention the Black Friday incident.
Yeah, we kind of. I don't know if we wanted to mention that or not. If you didn't see, there was a newspaper in Italy, and the cover was Black Friday, because it's a battle between Lukaku and Chris Smalling, which is extremely disgraceful.
Well, the context, like, apparently the article was a good article talking about how, like, those two players came from United. They weren't really that desired at United anymore, and how they've really stepped up in Serie A.
Yeah.
But whoever was the editor or made the headline.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's awful.
And then, like, the paper, I'm not going to even mention their name, they just like kept like defending it. They compared it to lynching, apparently, which apparently lynching in Europe is different than in North America.
Yeah.
So,
anyways,
yeah, it's not a great look. I know AC Milan and Fiorentina, was it? No, it was AC Milan and Roma, obviously.
I think Inter, yeah.
I'm not sure if Inter have, but they banned the paper for the rest of the year.
You would sure hope so after that, honestly.
But obviously they resume in January.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, so not the greatest scenes.
No, especially with how Italy has looked over the last couple years when it comes to racism. They're always kind of getting blasted for it, so it doesn't help their case.
Yeah, it just does. It's not a good look.
Yeah. Remember, Italy is, in that sense, maybe stuck in the Stone Age. But so let's move on to Spain.
Yes. So,
no, I didn't see too much headlining except for the Barcelona game. I think we should obviously start with that. Messi, he shows up his 6th Ballon d'Or, which we will cover just towards the end of the podcast. Amazing performances from Messi. Oh my God, the man makes football.
He's the magician.
He makes it look so easy.
Yeah,
not even just dribbling, but just shooting the ball. I think two of his goals came outside the box.
Apparently, they looked identical.
Yeah, I thought they were the same goal, just different minutes. The man makes shooting a finesse shot look like making toast. Like, I just don't know how he does it.
He's
the magician.
He's one of the best of all time.
Ronaldo's fallen off. Messi keeps rising.
Well, Messi is younger than Ronaldo.
Yeah, by 2 years. But I'm just saying, I just love Messi.
I love Messi too.
Yeah,
I think he's fantastic.
I think
it shows why he deserved the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, I think if you love football, you love Messi. It's like,
yeah.
I think if you love football, you love great players either way.
Yeah.
So even the one goal he scored, like inside the box, it was kind of inside the box, and it was still nice. It's just like he makes finishing, dribbling, everything looks simple.
Now this is the Barcelona that we expected at the beginning of the season. That front three just scoring goals and winning games is what we expected.
That wasn't even Messi's hat trick. Wasn't even the headlining the match. It was Suarez's goal, which is arguably goal of the year.
Really. He
literally backheeled the ball into the net from like No, you know how like you sometimes back you'll be like, oh, you just like push it in.
Mm-hmm.
No, he kind of shot it. It was like a shot.
Kind of like Mane's chip against Watford. That was a back heel last season.
No, instead he back heeled it and it kind of bounced and in. You need to look at the goal. It was insane.
I wasn't able to really put much attention to La Liga. I was kind of more focused on the other.
It was
leagues.
also from an angle. So like, I don't know. It was ridiculous.
Fair play, Suarez. Obviously, he's been questioned this season, but he's been pretty good.
No, he's
recently.
been performing very well recently.
Yeah, and you got to be happy that Griezmann scored because he desperately needs goals.
No, he needs to build up his reputation at Barcelona because right now it's not looking good.
Yeah. No, the thing about that though is they won 5-2. Like you got to still question the fact that they're conceding 2 goals. Like
no, their defense hasn't been good.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't like I didn't get to watch the match, so I would just wonder how Firpo was because he struggled against Atletico Madrid. I wonder if he was better or not. Mm-hmm. I know some weird stuff going on with PK recently. Like apparently he's not like getting enough sleep or something.
Well, PK, I hope you start sleeping well.
Well, because he's like he has a lot of projects on the side. Apparently, like he's involved with like the Davis Cup and stuff like that.
What's the Davis Cup?
It's like a tennis cup.
I thought
for
so.
Countries. He's apparently in charge of that or something.
Well done, Gerard.
Yo, PK, just wait till you retire to start focusing on the stuff.
He's gonna probably become Barca president one day.
Honestly, yeah, he's a businessman.
Be good for him though.
Yeah. So any other thoughts about this match that you guys have or not?
No,
really?
it was
Messi
great.
magic, and that's about it.
It was a Barcelona masterclass.
Yeah.
What about Real Madrid? 2-0 victory over Espanyol.
No surprise, Real Madrid has been doing well this year. Who scored the goals?
It was Varane and Benzema.
Benzema has been
goals.
quality. It's good to see him coming, showing his true colors as a striker.
Yeah.
It's a shame he can't get called up to France because they don't like him. But
also, I want to mention Varane.
Mm-hmm.
I read a stat somewhere that like Real Madrid's goal difference with him on the pitch is like plus 20 something. I might be wrong with that number, but it's a pretty high number. And then when he's not on the pitch, it's -1.
Yeah, we've given Varane some stick before, but I mean,
ever since the World Cup, he wasn't at his best. But
he didn't play well against PSG, that's for sure. But
but
I mean, like I suppose that stat says a lot. So
also we'll quickly go through the other stuff. Atletico Madrid, they continue having problems to score goals. 0-0 draw with Villarreal.
Oh boy.
They created chances, they just can't score.
What was the final result? Sorry.
0-0.
No.
This just proves our point that they're not a fun team to watch.
No, they were creating chances.
They just can't score.
As you can see with this thumbnail, this guy can't believe he missed.
I just see 0-0. I'm like, my God, I'm sorry for this.
Wasn't even looking at the.
Hopefully maybe Atletico Madrid need to buy a striker that can score goals. You'd expect Morata would be able to, but he's not getting the job done recently. Yeah,
no surprise. It's a fraud.
All right.
And also another shout out for La Liga. Real Betis won 3-2 against Athletic Bilbao. Joaquin apparently became the oldest player to score a hat trick.
Yeah.
Incredible.
He's 38 years old. He scores a hat trick in La Liga.
That's crazy.
I remember his days at Valencia. Like that was so long ago, and he's still doing it.
Yeah, still showing up.
Okay, but yeah. Otherwise, La Liga. I mean, Sevilla, they drew 1-1 at Osasuna. Osasuna, a very good home team. Leganes, they get a victory over Celta Vigo. Not good for Celta. Valladolid, Real Sociedad 0-0. Eibar lose to Getafe 1-0.
Yeah.
Levante lose to Valencia 4-2, which is important for Valencia with that big Champions League match against Ajax midweek. Granada defeated Alaves 3-0. And yeah, that's everything. Barcelona and Real Madrid still tied. El Clasico coming up very soon. We're counting down the days.
Yep.
I don't know how many days, but
it's soon, which we're excited for. Definitely.
I think we should just touch on quickly for the French League, Ligue 1. As much as I don't really care too much, there was an incident in the PSG game that looked very odd.
Yes, I'm glad that you're going to mention this one.
Yep. So, PSG, they went 2-1. No
3-1.
surprise. I just read it was 3. What the fuck? Anyways, the incident that occurred, would Mbappe score?
Yes.
So, Mbappe gets subbed off, and Thomas Tuchel tries talking to him or tries to give him some words, and Mbappe just totally ignores him, doesn't even respond, and just goes sits down. I'm like, where is the professionalism from this lad? He's 20 years old, and you gotta show the manager some respect. I don't care who you are. Mbappe, come on, man.
Wow. Was it?
He used to be this golden boy that looked like he was so innocent and he was just pure talent, and now we're starting to see the dark side of it.
I've been saying this forever to you and Liam.
I think Lucas is onto something.
Remember his red card against Rennes in the cup final where he nearly broke a guy's leg?
The thing is,
okay, calm down.
When you have that so much talent when you're young, like, you think you can you have an ego, and that's
exactly
what happens.
You know who doesn't have an ego? Lionel Messi.
Well, of course, but
N'Golo Kante.
Well, no,
N'Golo wouldn't start a fly.
I'm sure Messi has an ego. Just some people, their egos are bigger than others. Everyone has an ego.
No, definitely.
But like, obviously Mbappe is the most talented young player in the world right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he has many incidents where people complain about Neymar. He's doing the same things, if not worse.
I mean, it doesn't really help when Mbappe sees Neymar doing all this stuff, and then
Neymar would never do that to a manager.
Not really, actually.
But I'm talking about just all the other things, like
Actually, no. Neymar and Mbappe, they seem like to be really good friends. Like on the pitch, they look pretty happy together. So, and Neymar scored too, so it's good to see him doing well again.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I see people always questioning Neymar and what he does, but he always gives his best performances for PSG, even when there's all these rumors around him.
Neymar is starting to turn a page. I'm starting to see him like just more professionalism out of him. But yeah,
I mean, like in the media, like he's been speaking it real. He's been honest about everything, which I can respect. Mbappe, I don't know. He seems when he talks in the media, very intelligent, but then there's things that you see things like we mentioned this stuff here, ego getting kind of big.
Could this mean Mbappe Madrid bound, potentially?
I mean, is it going to happen?
It's hard to say.
It'd be very obvious if it was, but
that's a lot of money.
They'll spend it. They don't care. It's Real Madrid.
It's just
yeah.
Honestly, I want every player to be successful. It's just when a player does stuff like this and it's been happening in the past, you got to call it out.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I mean, sure, you've won a World Cup at 18, but mate, let's see you do it in the Champions League. All right, you got to round of 16? Is that it? And you got knocked up by a subpar Manchester United? Relax, mate. Sit down. Okay.
I love when Waz does that accent.
I don't even know what kind of accent it is.
I don't even know either.
You're doing an accent.
Before we move on, I think it would be the last topic. The Ballon
D'Or. I know. I already know that. We're saving best for last.
But I want to mention Cruzeiro.
I heard. Yeah, they got relegated.
First time in their history.
If you don't know who Cruzeiro, they are a Brazilian team.
Yes. They got relegated to Brazilian Serie B for the first time in their history.
Yeah.
Not the greatest scenes after the match, and obviously awful for their fans, and it's just not what you want to see. Funny thing though is they've had t-shirts in the past that they've sold saying, in Portuguese obviously, saying something like never fallen off or like never relegated or something like that, and that looks very ironic now.
Yeah, not great. That's
time to move
hopefully
on
they can come back though.
To the Old Firm in Scotland. Rangers and Celtic played. Our friend Liam, who's not here, he's a big Celtic supporter, and we've been getting some Celtic supporters following our podcast on TikTok and in general because of Liam. Anyways, here are his thoughts on the Old Firm. Celtic played probably their worst game of the season. We were not sharp enough. Ryan Christie and James Forrest were very quiet. Lewis Morgan was non-existent up front, but Fraser Forster was brilliant. He's been fantastic this season. Rangers had plenty of chances, but they are just not good enough. Celtic are better than them, and that will always be the case. Saint Neil Lennon has blessed us all. Great analysis, Liam. Doesn't even talk about the goal.
Yeah, it was apparently it was offside.
It kind of did look offside. It basically came off a set piece. I can't remember if it was a header or not. But yeah.
But that doesn't excuse the fact that Rangers missed a lot of chances in this game, supposedly.
Yeah.
They missed a penalty as well from a guy who missed several chances before that penalty. So it's more of a match, obviously, great goalkeeping, like Liam mentioned, as well as just you got to take your chances, especially in these big moments.
And this is now Celtics.
Like a final. Like, you gotta prove
this
yourself.
is Celtics now 10th consecutive domestic title in a row. He's gonna use that line for a while now.
Great.
We'll play Celtic. You won a trophy. Thing is, Celtic have not been terrible this year, actually. We kind of harp on them a lot because they play in Scotland, but they have been putting in some big results.
Until we see Manchester United, Celtic, Europa League.
Which is something he's wanting. He's like, I hope
I'm
we
waiting for
that.
it.
I would love that, but... the question is, how far do you guys think Celtic could go in the Europa League?
Oh, that's an interesting question, Waz.
It all depends. I mean, can we just, like what we talked about, Lazio beat Juventus, Celtic beat Lazio.
Yeah.
Like,
now,
Celtic better than Juventus.
Granted, Lazio would be more up for a match against Juventus than Lazio. Than Celtic. So,
But Lazio might not even make it to the quarterfinals. Or round of 32, sorry.
yeah, like Cluj is 3 points ahead.
Quarterfinals.
Yeah.
That's a big jump. Yeah, so Celtic, there's obviously a lot of talent in the Europa League that will go in the round of 32, and then teams from the Champions League dropping down. So we'll see what happens. Rangers also they still have one more match.
Yeah,
but
they haven't actually been playing terrible.
yeah, they have 8 points in their Europa League group. Porto and Young Boys have 7, and Feyenoord have 5. So it's not sealed and delivered yet. But
yeah, credit to Rangers and Steven Gerrard for playing well.
But unfortunately, no trophy for Stevie G.
Not yet. Probably won't.
Unlucky Lucas.
I'm not a Rangers fan.
No comment with Steven Gerrard. I've said enough things about him on this podcast.
That's true.
Like
That's very true.
Anyways, that sums up the old firm for Liam.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to watch the games. We can't comment on
luckily,
that
he
too
didn't
much.
drop any explicit words as usually. But anyways, let's talk about just quickly touch up on the Ballon d'Or. It was awarded this past week. Lionel Messi wins his 6th in a row. What do you guys think? Did he deserve it?
Yes.
Yeah.
As a Liverpool supporter, do you think Van Dijk should have won it?
If there wasn't a man named Lionel Messi, then of course. But
Now, if Liverpool won the title,
if Liverpool,
do you think he would have won it?
No, I don't think so because it was just the Premier League was so close, and regardless of the fact.
see, this reward is voted by journalists.
Yeah.
I feel like if Liverpool did win the title, that would bring headlines all across the world because they haven't won it for so long and being such a historic club. And if they won the double, the Champions League and the Premier League,
I
same
think
year.
Van Dijk would have won it, honestly.
But obviously, they still won the Champions League, and that
Which is-
brought Van Dijk very high up into the rankings.
He only lost it by 7 points. Was it?
I can
The
find it.
vote, yeah.
It's very close.
Yeah, it was extremely close. And I think third was Ronaldo, which I'm kind of confused on why. Because Fabio Quagliarella even scored more goals than Ronaldo in Serie A last year. So where's Quagliarella? Why isn't I'm probably mispronouncing his name? What should maybe Quagliarella?
It's not an easy name to pronounce, honestly, but
Yeah.
I don't know where the ranking is, but yeah, Mane was 4th as well, which
And Salah was 5th. So credit to Liverpool having 3 players in the top 5.
Liverpool showing why they're
The best
team in Europe right now.
Yeah.
Allison was 7th in the voting too, I think.
Who?
Allison.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, when you win when your team wins the Champions League, it's gonna raise all your.
I'll be honest. I was kind of pissed off that Lewandowski was ranked 8th. I thought it was kind of silly.
Who was 6th? Was it
Mbappe.
Was it Mbappe? Yeah.
Mbappe has 12 goals in 15 appearances so far this year. Robert Lewandowski has 27 goals in 22 appearances.
I mean, they also count into the season before.
Yeah, and Lewandowski still played pretty well.
Yeah, but
Sure, Mbappe scored 33 goals in League One.
and he was also 2nd ranked in the Golden Boot race for Europe.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're considering national teams, Lewandowski is usually dragging Poland, while Mbappe plays for France, and that's not too hard to win with a team like that.
I know Liam brings up the argument that the World Cup, him winning the World Cup, brings him up a bit.
But that
more.
makes no sense when it's forward for 2019.
Yeah, but he says that improves his reputation, and people may just maybe they don't watch all the leagues and they just see Mbappe and they're like, oh,
essentially that's how I feel about it. I feel like it's. I think Ballon d'Or is starting to lose a little bit of credit.
Well, the thing is we're not the ones that make the vote, so we don't know how it actually goes. But
imagine the 90th minute Ballon d'Or.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be crazy.
I mean,
but
personally, I think Messi deserved it.
Yeah, I think.
So there's other things that go into like.
I don't think Ronaldo even should have had third. Should have given it to Mane. Mane or Lewandowski should have been third. That's my personal opinion.
Mane had a fantastic year.
Yeah, he did. I don't know. I think the rankings are fine for the most part. I think Lewandowski could be a bit higher, but I understand that he wasn't at his best.
I don't know. I feel like Lewandowski doesn't get a lot of enough praise because he's not the flashiest player in the world.
It's different. Yeah, definitely. But it's also not right now. He's very good, very good, and he just wasn't.
I hope the form continues in the next season, right? So. Yeah. Anything else to touch up on?
I think that's everything was. We've talked about lots of stuff. Champions League is coming up midweek. We may have an episode for that. We'll see. And so once again, thank you for watching this podcast. If you got to the end, thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. If you want to keep watching, if you like what you see, like the video, comment down below. We always like to hear what you have to say.
And also, if you're listening on audio apps, subscribe or follow to us, and why not message us on social medias and let us know what you think about any of the topics.
Instagram, follow us on there. Yeah, just follow us on anything.
Yeah. Instagram.
We appreciate
TikTok.
all the support.
Hit the bell notification to know for our next upload.
Yeah.
Waz is very tired right now.
Yeah, I had 2 G Fuels. It's kind of hitting me. It's trying to crash.
Yeah, so from myself, Lucas, Waz, and Greg, this has been yet another week in the beautiful game. Thanks for watching.
The entire world thought Rangers were going to win that Old Firm. I was kind of upset because you guys talked about for all of 13 seconds on that episode. One of the biggest and oldest derbies in the world. The entire world, Rangers, Steven Gerrard. The Daily Mail predicted a 4-0 Rangers win.